The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read. Your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
All right, this is the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. Now, on today's show, I'm going to get started early because I got a message for New York and Atlanta. Things is about to get bloody out here, people. And a flame has been sparked by two people who basically have felt like they've been underdogs in the hip-hop industry for a long time and not getting what they was supposed to get. This is going to be dangerous. And the reason why this is going to be dangerous because, you know, there's going to be a lot of blood spilled here pretty soon. Because as you can tell, it's leading up to something. This whole coronavirus has thrown a monkey wrench in a lot of things in America. And I mostly talk about the economics and the politics of America. This is a political show. I don't usually get into tea. I don't get into gossip, hip-hop news. I don't get into all of that. Because I've lived out here in these streets. I done been in the game for 22 years. You know, I know what it feels like to have them hot balls go through your body. I know what it feels like to have young men and women relying on your leadership during the time of a gang war. So I'm seeing this. Hold on for a second. I had to take something off, people, because I don't want nobody to get this confused about what I'm talking about and get it confused of what I'm about now. So I had to take that off before I start speaking. Now, like I was saying, I've been around for over 20-something years dealing with young gang members and things of that nature all over the country. From state to state, everything from Latin Kings to Vice Lords, GDs, BDs, all of that. And two people over the last few months have come out and starting to expose a lot of fake gang members in the hip hop community. Now, I'm not saying all rappers are fake gang members, okay? What I'm about to say, some of y'all fans out there need to get this understanding when y'all looking at these millionaires and billionaires flying around in these private airplanes and going out fishing on these yachts with all of these IG models that they done flew in from Canada. Okay, these people are different from the average dude standing on the block with that pistol on him, watching a prostitute go down the street behind a dumpster and give a guy a blowjob for $40. This is a whole different ball game. Now, Lil Chop is bona fide. I did my research on him. He done put in that work in Chicago. This ain't Atlanta. This ain't Memphis. This ain't Texas. This ain't nowhere else. He done put in that work in the Chicago, where everything started from. Okay? Trav in New York from 11 years old. I checked in on him. He done put in that work in New York, falling up behind 50 Cent. See, what's going on is, first I got to explain to you the structure of how this whole hip-hop thing and gang members work. Everything is interconnected, but it's not interconnected. Let me explain to you how this works, because I've been dealing with this, me and my family. I'm second generation gang member, ex-gang member. I don't gang bang no more. But I can talk about this because I try to pull young men off the streets and try to get them a better way of life. Young men and women. So this is how it works, people. For all of you neutrons out there people who are foot soldiers who ain't never reached the upper echelons of gang life, because y'all still out here running around shooting at each other. This is how it works. The rappers bring money in from the white population. When they need something handled, they go to their buddies that's still out there banging, pay them to go break somebody's legs or handle the business, sell the drugs or handle the business. They don't get involved in it. Sometimes a rapper will go and pull a street dude out of the streets and make him a rich rapper. And then he separates himself from the streets. Even though they still have street ties, those millionaires and billionaires are separate. The ones running around here with these fancy videos, you would never see them out there standing behind a dumpster selling dime sacks and rock for rock, blow for blow, rocks and blows. You would never see that. So what done happened is Trav and Young Chop, who are real soldiers, but they in the rap game, they never really was accepted. Especially Young Chop. See, Young Chop is a big dude. You know, I'm not going to judge no man on how he looks. But he doesn't have the stature that somebody like Biggie Smalls had. You know, you could put Biggie Smalls in a suit and people will accept him. You can put what's that guy down in Florida name? The one they said was a security guard at one time. Rick Ross. You could put Rick Ross in a nice linen suit and he looks good. So what's happening is Young Chop was never really accepted in the upper echelons of hip hop. He do good music. So now, this is what's going on, people. The money is gone. I always talk about the economy and I always talk about what's going on with the government. But I hardly ever speak on this whole hip hop and music industry because that is an industry. The money is gone. These rappers are getting rich off of doing 20,000 a show, 40,000 a show. There are no more shows. The money is finna dry up. So now these guys that's used to paying their way through, flying into Cincinnati, calling in saying, hey man, I'm in your city, meeting up with the guys that's a part of their gang and paying them for protection, that's done. Because there is no more concerts for at least a year. So now these foot soldiers who are used to getting a few $1,000s from these millionaires to handle some business, they looking at these millionaires like, man, I ain't never liked y'all no way. Because y'all fakers. That's what's going on. This is a chance for Young Chop to show the world, because Young Chop is not a dummy. He's not a dumb kid. He done survived some stuff. And he done been around these fakers. This man done put out 14 albums. I didn't even know he put out that many albums. So he been around these fakers, watching how he done been a soldier in Chicago, and these fakers been flying around in private jets claiming what he claiming. And he done been around these people so long that ain't really accepting him. He don't have that look. So this is his opportunity to get back at these people and speak his mind. I'm finna play you a clip of Young Chop talking to J. Prince Jr. This is a feared man in the hip hop community. Him and his father. Because they got street ties. And you can tell when you look at how he talking to J. Prince Jr., you can tell J. Prince Jr. ain't never been talked to like this before. Because what J. Prince Jr. is dealing with is somebody who he used to running because he got money. He can get him that $4,000-$5,000, man, go break that dude's legs. And he'll do it. But now that everything is done, Young Chopper's like, man, I'm ready to throw it up. I'm ready to go up, blow it up in smoke. Y'all fakers. That's what's going on. Trav started it. He started this shit in New York by calling out 50 Cent. This man was 11 years old in the trenches, hanging out with 50 Cent while 50 Cent was getting shot. This man been banging for a long time, him and the other cat, Monster. These are the guys who done protected 50 Cent for years. And now 50 Cent just threw him away. He done made his money. He threw these guys away. These are the opportunities now that they know the money ain't being made no more. These foot soldiers are stepping up. They like, man, look, it's whatever with me. And I can tell by watching this whole video that Young Chop is owed something. I don't know what they owe him, but my message to y'all in Atlanta, y'all need to pay this man. Y'all need to pay him. That's the honorable thing to do. Pay him what you owe him. Because he ain't caring right now. He looking at y'all like, man, half of y'all gay or going bisexual, and the other half y'all fakers. Y'all ain't pulling no triggers. Y'all ain't shooting nobody. Y'all might get into a fight every now and then, but y'all ain't really killing nobody out here. Y'all paying guys like him to do the murders. See, that's what's going on. But now that these millionaires ain't making that revenue because everything is done, the whole economy is stopped. There will be no concerts. They're not even sending kids to school. So if they're not sending kids to school, there's not finna be no concert at a club and you got to pay me 20 grand to make an appearance. Ain't none of that going on. So now these foot soldiers that's been out here doing the dirty work for these multi-millionaire rap moguls, they're starting to say, look, man, you know what? Y'all starting to look like food now. We hungry. Y'all been feeding us for years, but now y'all can't feed us no more. We ain't protecting you no more. That's what's going on. I'm finna play this video because I want y'all to see how Young Chop is talking to J. Prince Jr. And you can tell by the look on this man's face, he ain't never been talked to like this before. Because he got a little bit of street cred and he got a lot of power in the hip hop community. Young Chop is letting him have it. He playing with this cat. I want y'all to watch this video.
I ain't even finna do all this social media shit though. You know, I send out a little signal and shit like fire emojis and shit like that.
Chat.
Hold on.
Chat. You know you talking to Junior right now?
I just sent out a fire emoji. You hot, my nigga. You scorching. Hey, you know my boy Johnny Rockstar, don't you?
What's your temperature like right now? You alright?
Nah, I'm good though.
You got a fever? You sure? Alright, then be cordial then.
Right. That my boy, like, ain't he from over there?
Who?
My boy Johnny Rockstar, the white boy.
You say ain't he what?
Yeah, told me some shit though, like a minute ago.
Told you what?
I don't know. We just gonna keep it like that.
My nigga, you be talking in circles.
Right. But you understand what I'm saying though.
No, I don't.
Man, look up.
What you got on my line to be on some social media shit? I ain't never been on social media, nigga.
Let me stop this video right there. I want y'all to look at the expression on J. Prince Jr. face. This man's a powerful figure in the hip hop community, him and his father. Now his father got real live gangster ties in the underground hip hop community and on the streets. J. Prince Jr. got power too. See, right now, he dealing with a foot soldier that done came up, got some money, And now ain't no more money to be made. So he ready to set it off. He ready to set the whole thing on fire, people. Him and Trav. They ready to set this whole hip-hop industry ablaze. And see, this is what people ain't talking about. See, a lot of fans that's watching this, they looking at this as some comedic type stuff. Of some real gangster stuff finna happen. They getting on live, they laughing with this cat. And they don't realize this man done put in some real work up in Chicago. Him and his uncles, his family, them BDs up there. They ready to set this whole industry ablaze. Now see, this is another thing I'm finna tell y'all about the game. A lot of the foot soldiers out here, the shorties that's running up under these gang leaders, they don't understand that while y'all out here running around running errands, they got connections with the police. They got them on payroll. They go out eat dinner with them at a cafe. Y'all running around saying we don't mess with cops, we don't mess with pigs. But they, in their mind, they playing chess. Y'all playing checkers. So what they done did was, Young Chop is ready to go to war over whatever they owe him. They can't get to him because he ready. And he in his crib. So whatever he do, he justified. If they come in his yard, he can kill them and he justified. He ready. So what they done was, they done went and called the police on him and had him locked up for abusing a dog, abusing an animal. So now he's in the county jail in Atlanta right now. You see what I'm saying? They playing chess, but they don't realize this is one thing that's finna happen. One of the two things finna happen. Now, Young Chop might go into segregation. They might separate him, and when he gets out, he ain't gonna have no credibility. Okay? Ain't nobody gonna believe he real. But if he goes into population and don't nobody put hands and feet on him, Atlanta won't have no reputation as far as gang wise. And Young Chop is gonna get out and it's gonna be 10 times worse. If he goes into population and don't nobody put hands and feet on him, it's gonna be trauma. It's gonna be trouble. I'm finna show you what his uncle said.
Is behind bars right now. They're saying here that he violated probation because he had starved his dog to death, and they're saying here that's why they had him behind bars, again because he violated his probation for animal cruelty. Okay, and well, his uncle was on Instagram live and he's pretty much responding to all these Atlanta goons going at Young Chop, and he's just not having it. He wants all the smoke and is obviously gonna back up Young Chop because he sees that things are getting pretty bad, and he's going to be on Young Chop's side and defend him from these Atlanta goons who are pretty much going at Young Chop. We know that Young Chop did start this whole thing, and well, his uncle did respond, and this is what he had to say.
Think y'all gangsters. Y'all ain't gangsters down here, nigga. Chi-town or nothing. Chicago first. Fuck you niggas mean.
Ho, let me stop that real quick. Let me stop this. I gotta speak on this. What he trying to say to some of y'all gang members that's out here in the rest of the country, everything started in Chicago. And I'm not saying that you ain't got killers nowhere else. I'm not saying you ain't got real gang nowhere else. What I'm trying to tell you is most of the gang members in Chicago, they live, eat, and sleep bullets. They live 2 blocks from people that's trying to kill them. Every day. They might have to go see their child on the same block that 5 or 6 dudes might see their car and be like, man, ain't that dude right there? He ain't supposed to be over here. And it goes up right there. They eat and sleep this stuff, people. Some of these guys that been plugged in some other place, they came out of high school, met somebody from Chicago, and that person from Chicago plugged them in. They ain't never touched the streets of the Chi in their life. Ever. Ever. And that's the people that Young Chop has been dealing with. A lot of goons. I ain't saying they ain't killers. I ain't saying they ain't got power in their area. But some of these people, instead of starting their own gang and naming it something else, they joined a gang that was already established. And ain't never even been to the holy city. Never. Ain't never stepped foot on Chicago streets. Ever. And these are the people that Young Chop has been dealing with. So right now, whatever they owe him, they need to pay him. Because if they don't pay him, if he get out of jail, it's going to be 10 times worse. Especially if they don't put hands and feet on him. It's going to be 10 times worse. I'm going to continue on with what his uncle talking about. Because his uncle's serious.
What the fuck these niggas name? X gang, D, whatever the fuck you niggas name is, nigga.
Back in the alphabet with that bullshit.
Fuck you mean, nigga. We real motherfucking mob ties here, nigga. Black Disciple for real.
You hear me?
Ain't no kids out here. Fuck you mean. My fucking nephew ain't got to run for you niggas. Cowards. Can't fight no ghosts, nigga. We here. Goofy ass. Tough ass Atlanta gangsters. Really, for real. Just don't know. You cowards will never come to Chicago. Because you niggas gay. You never come to my streets. I'm in your streets, but you don't want to even show me your face. Gang. Fuck they talking about. We ain't gonna die. We ain't going nowhere either. Nigga. Fuck you talking about.
It's up there.
We ain't going nowhere. On Black Disciple, we ain't going nowhere. Goofy. And I'll guarantee you, now one of you Atlanta niggas better not ever come to Chicago, do no show. I promise you that. I'm gonna show you real mob ties. Nigga, I'm gonna show you what our streets do. Fuck you talking about. He ain't gotta say shit. Nigga. That's on Black Disciple, nigga.
Now, I had to play you that clip because, like I said, this whole coronavirus, people, has destroyed industry everywhere. Not just regular jobs and regular industry that normal people go to work in their daily lives, but the music industry is demolished. The music industry is demolished, people. So now what you got going on, you got a lot of these guys that done got plugged in, that done made all these millions flying around in these jet streams. Now they can't feed the wolves. They can't feed the wolves for protection because they trying to keep all of their money to themselves because they know it's finna be a drought. Ain't no shows. They might have a private studio in their house. They might go on live and do some music on live and try to charge people to listen to their music on live. But that ain't nowhere near the money that they could make if they could be out here moving around and doing shows in different cities. That's dead. So now what you got is a bunch of hungry wolves that they've been feeding for the last 20 years. The last 20, 30 years since hip hop been out here. They've been getting rich off the backs of young minorities who never even get a chance to fly around in a private jet. They pull up on them in a Bentley, pay him $5,000-$6,000 and tell him, hey man, go jump on that dude, man, that he said something to my girl at the club the other night. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to put hands and feet on him. All right, man, I got you. Drop it off. Pay him that little money. Next thing you know, the dude on the news, he done got beat up. See, that's what they used to doing. But now, everything finna go up in smoke. Everything finna go up in smoke, people. And see, the Instagram watchers, they watching what's going on, but they laughing and giggling. They don't think that this is serious because they never been in the upper echelons of this. They ain't never sat with board members. They ain't never been around UEs, and they ain't never been around people that make life and death decisions on your life. They ain't never been around people like that. They think this is a game. But the wolves is out. Hip hop don't mean nothing no more. You can rap till your breath goes out. Ain't no money to be made in it right now. Nothing. You can make all the beats you want to make. You can rap all you want to rap. But if you can't fly out to St. Louis and do a show, fly out to California and do a show, you ain't making no money. So now, it falls on the streets to produce the money. Some of these rappers are going to go back to hustling. And the people that's out here in the streets that been watching them run around here like a hoe for the last 20 years, they're not going to accept you back. You didn't mess with us when you was out there flying around with these IG models. They're not going to mess with you now. It's finna get down. I'm finna take my first commercial break, and when I come back, I'm going to play a little bit about Trav. What he talking about 50 Cent. This finna get serious, people. They're not the only ones finna do this. They started a trend with a lot of these youngsters. And when I get back, I'm going to talk about that.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
I'm on this live. Fuck that. It's up, nigga. It's up. It's up. I'm not playing. I'm not doing that. We go, that nigga right, when that nigga say I'm a good kid, I believe I was a good kid, nigga. I believe I could have did other shit, nigga. I'm in the streets at 11 years old. 12 years old, I'm around grown men like him. And he's getting shot. So what good kid is around a nigga like him getting shot? Because if I'm around him, niggas trying to kill him, and they trying to kill the little good kid?
That was Trav out of New York, people. And a lot of people don't even know Trav's name. He got a couple of records out now. But I sat here and watched his story. What's going on with him? And he basically exposed 50 Cent. He said, yeah, he used to be the man back in the days. But as he started getting money, he started treating the rest of us like, man, we were garbage. You know? He done with it. He done put in work for this man. Him and Monster. They done actually went out here, beat people up, did all kinds of dirt for this man. He act like he don't even know him now. So let me do a quick recap on the first part of this show, because I got somebody that's calling in. He's a truck driver, and he's going to tell about how the industry being shut down across the country is affecting him in his work. Okay, because I'm a truck driver myself, and a lot of the truckers out there who are being in the industry of medical, food, they're still working. But there's a lot of truckers out here who's not getting money because everything is shut down. They can't deliver. So he wants to tell his story about what's going on with the trucking industry and I'm gonna get to him. I'm gonna call him in a minute and pull him up. But back to Trav, like I said, these two guys right here are a flame that's about to spark in this country when it comes to this whole hip hop and things of that nature. And see, I'm old enough to have been around 2 gang wars, survived both of them, been shot. I even remember a time where some GDs and vice lords tried to come together and form a 7-point star. That got shut down so fast, people got murdered behind that. I can remember this stuff. And the reason why it got shut down so fast is because the gang leaders knew that this is finna spiral out of control. We have to contain this. Just like you got the government shut things down, some of these chiefs and these gang leaders, they shut things down too. But what's happening is, these 2 men right here, if they don't get shut down, they sparking something that's finna cause a ripple effect through the whole hip hop community. Because you got a lot of young men out here who music has been stolen by mainstream artists. Beats been stolen. They're not getting paid for shows. They showing up using their own gas money while these people are flying in on jets. They using their own gas money to show up at a show, beating up people for the main rapper, and then he flies off with an IG model, and now they stuck trying to get back home. These are the things that some of these young goons are going through. And now that they see that the money is drying up, it's finna go up in smoke. I just sat here and explained to you how they done got Young Chop locked up. I don't believe the police just popped up at his house looking for a dead dog. I don't believe that. Somebody had to call the police and tell the police that Young Chop got a dog or an animal in the house that he's not taking care of, for the police to go to his house and lock him up. So that lets me know that somebody's trying to contain this. Because you better believe that all the gang leaders in Atlanta, they talking about this. They getting phone calls from other places, from Houston, from Memphis, from Chicago. They getting phone calls from other gang leaders like, man, what y'all doing in Atlanta? They got to contain this. Because if they don't contain this, this dude is finna get a lot of followers. First, it's going to start with the white kids. Because white kids have been known to like rebels. They like people that go against authority. They like people that go against and buck the system. It's going to start with the white girls and the white boys. Then all of a sudden, you're going to have young goons that's going to start following young Chop. Then you're going to have goons trying to follow up behind, Nate, the brother up in New York. And then it's going to have a ripple effect. It's going to have a ripple effect all through the industry. Now, when you fly into another city, they ain't trying to hear what you got to say. They might smack you in your face and take your jewelry. They don't care about your security. They might beat them up too. This is finna be a ripple effect, people. I'm finna play some more Trav, because I want y'all to hear what Trav is funny. Now, Young Chop is funny, but Trav is funnier because Young Chop don't smoke, get high from what he's saying. But Trav, he's smoking, he getting high on the screen and letting you know that he was there when 50 Cent was getting injections in his butt.
11, 12, 13 around is going, this is what's going on. I'm going in my ages. I'm going through these ages around this guy. Niggas is trying to blow his head off anywhere they see him. Because at this time, when y'all get a chance, listen to the Ghetto Quran. I didn't know he was name dropping official niggas, like real street niggas that was doing shit. until I got to the age that I'm bumping into niggas. Like I'm bumping into the niggas he's naming in the songs. Like I bumped into a nigga, he was like, yo, you owe a nigga. In the song he said, you owe a nigga, you don't want to pay him, kill him. That's what they said Tata did to Pee-wee. Y'all ain't gotta believe me. I bump into the nigga Tata one day, being a young nigga, you get what I'm saying? And the nigga like, yo, what's up with your man?
This guy's too funny. Now I'm gonna tell you, just listen.
Every day, I'm around you every day. This the life. This is what we do. We gotta protect you, cause you rap. You rap. You the nigga that's dissing everybody. So now we beefing with everybody. This is what we have to do. We have to protect you. We have to protect the bag. All right, cool. Ask 50. Any of the niggas from in any of them videos that helped him is there around him right now. Ask him. Matter of fact, fuck that. Ask him how Yayo doing. Ask him how Yayo doing, man. How Young Buck doing, man? Why everybody that's part of G Unit fucked up?
Trav is funny. This is a funny cat. You know, he basically saying that the type of dude these guys are, they riding around in Escalades, bulletproof Escalades. They gotta use their own vehicles, put their own gas in their car. They screaming G Unit, but they gotta follow up behind him, and he got all of this money, and he's not footing the bill. But they did it out of loyalty because they knew him before he became famous.
Why everybody broke? Why these niggas is hurting? Why they hurting? That ain't making it just play right. It doesn't make. All right, cool. I'm gonna give y'all niggas. I'm gonna make sense to y'all niggas. One day, you know, I'm around. I'm around on whatever time it is. I'm not a rapper. I wasn't rapping at this time. I didn't, because at the time, I'm just used to him putting whatever we do in his songs. If we fight, if quote unquote, if somebody that was with us, or since I'm the good kid, I ain't do it. If my brother or somebody, whoever, we ain't gonna say names. Since we all good kids. If whoever, since we ain't had security guards, right, 50, because you ain't had no police, right? And shit was going on. So, since all these things was going on, who was actually protecting you, bro? Because you wasn't doing this shit.
He said he done had enough of it. He done had enough of it. And then he said they couldn't even sell drugs because 50 Cent was making so much money legally, he didn't want drugs around him. So that means the whole time people are looking at 50 Cent, they thinking he's some kind of drug kingpin. He didn't even want drugs around him. He said he wasn't giving us no money, but we couldn't hustle. We couldn't even hustle because he didn't want drugs around him. This is too funny. This is crazy, people.
Bump heads. He started to see a nigga wanted more for himself. And how you don't want to feel happy for a nigga wanting more for himself? Like, especially a nigga that's not asking you for anything. Nigga ain't ask, yo, bro, you know why he's mad? Yo, you know why that shit happened with me and Meek on the stage when he said, yo, he can't get on the stage? Because I wrote him, I don't want to come around. I'm not pulling up the shows to hold it down, driving to Connecticut behind the bulletproof cars, holding guns. We gotta gas up our own cars. You ain't giving nobody no bread, bro. You ain't even, you the wrong leader. You're the wrong leader. You the wrong leader. You the wrong leader.
I just want to say this. You know, to all the people out there who follow this on Instagram and YouTube and watch these rap videos, don't believe the hype people. Don't believe the hype people. It's some people out here, man, that I mean, I've been around it. I've been around dudes, man, that's thirsty out here. I done seen a kid go from selling rocks and blows to snorting powder. Now he's a heroin junkie. In the span of 6 years. That's all it took, people. 6 years. Standing on the corner, he's still out there on the corner rapping. He want to be a rapper so bad. And he in his 30s. He on heroin now. I done seen it, people. That stuff you see on TV with these Bugattis, that's not real. These mink coats, that's not real. These IG models, come from Spain. They done flew these women in. That's not real. They baby mama's name Shaniqua. She still live in the hood. And he ain't even seen his child in 6 years. But he done got 2 kids by an IG model and put her in a mansion. So basically what Lil Chop and the cat up in New York, basically what they doing, they throwing it up like shit. It's finna be exposed. They tossing it up. They ready to blow the whole thing, the whole system. They ready to tear it down. And Lil Chop know that there's some people gonna come after him, and I can look and tell in his face, people. He ready. He with it. I can look at his uncle in Chicago and tell he with it. He ready. And believe me, them BDs gonna ride with him. They gonna ride with him. Like I said, I don't like to talk about this stuff. I like to talk about politics and main news because I feel like this is important. This affects all of us as a country. But this right here, while everybody's laughing at this stuff, I recognized it just like a lot of gang leaders across this country who are watching this from the outside. They're not in Atlanta. They might be a gang leader in Louisiana somewhere. They watching this stuff, people. And they recognizing this is finna be a problem. This is finna be a major problem. That can cause a whole stream of problems all through the hip hop community. And I'm gonna tell y'all something that, like some of these rappers, y'all gonna come to realize that some of these dudes, they ain't gonna be able to stand up to it. Even some of the ones who came off the streets and became millionaire rappers, they might not be able to live up to it. Because they might not have been out there killing people for 10 years. They've been so rich and fat and wealthy, living in a big mansion, driving Rolls Royces, they used to paying people to break people's legs. But when it come to them, people jumping their fence and kicking in their back door, they might not be ready for this. These people up here eat bullets. You heard what his uncle said. They eat and sleep this stuff. They don't fly out of town. They stay in town and face the fire. They don't fly out of town. They don't cause a lot of fights. I done seen rappers will come in, do a show, start a whole fight in a city, and then fly out the next day and the whole city is beefing. They done flew in, they claiming gang. They done flew in, caused a fight at a club, beat up some people, because they done brought their little entourage, beat up some people, and then when they fly out the next day, going to their next location, the whole city is ready to kill each other. I done seen it, people. And that's what's going on right now. Young Chop and that cat up in Trav in New York, they ready to throw this whole thing up in smoke. They ready to call out all the fakers. They ready to call out all the real ones, all the real street soldiers, and say, man, let's have at it. Let's see who gonna really stand up. Them choppers ain't just for show. You showing it on your videos, but haven't even been shot yet. Has the bullets ever flew out of it? You showing it on your video, and that's what this brother right here is saying. And some of y'all women, y'all ain't immune to this neither. Some of y'all IG models with the long pretty nails, it's some women I know, man, straight gangbangers. They can't got no money to get their nails done, but they'll pop that pistol. They'll shoot that pistol. Some of them finna get exposed too. They ain't ready for no bullets to get to flying. So my message to New York and my message to Atlanta, this coming from an old head. I've been around for a minute. I was gang banging when some of y'all was 10 years old, 5 years old. I done lived through it. And I'm on the other side of it. I'm trying to watch the grass grow, not under it. So my message to New York and Atlanta, whatever y'all owe these people, man, be honorable and pay them. If you owe Young Chop, because I'm going to tell you, Young Chop, Jay Prince Jr. said that Young Chop sent him his banking information and told him to drop it off. And he said he don't know what Young Chop talking about. I believe he do. Now this came out of Jay Prince Jr.'s mouth himself. He said that Young Chop sent him his banking information. A man ain't finna send you no banking information if you don't owe him. It ain't finna happen. Something done happened in Atlanta and Young Chop is ready to throw it up in flames. For real. And don't get it twisted just because a lot of these Atlanta people is trying to chase him out of Atlanta. Don't think that Young Chop don't have people gonna ride with him. Because like I already told you, the longer this goes on, the more people are gonna start catching on to, hey, this dude exposing some people that we've been watching for a long time thinking they real. Once this keep going on for so long, he gonna start getting some backers. People that's gonna ready to pop that pistol with him. That's why they had him locked up. I don't believe the police just popped up at his house looking for a dog. I'm sorry, people. I'm not gonna believe that. Somebody figured it out, a way to get him out that house. Get him off of Instagram. And that's to call the police on him. Because he was ready. I have no doubt in my mind that if some goons would have tried to bust in his house and do something to him, he would have been ready. I have no doubt in my mind. So my message, like I say again, to the peoples out there in New York that's dealing with the whole Trav situation, and the people in Atlanta that's dealing with Young Chop situation, before this whole rap industry go up in flames and a lot of people get exposed as being hoes, man, pay this man this money that you owe him and then just blackball him. Let him go on about his business. Pay him what you owe him and then just don't mess with him no more. And then y'all can go back to being real or fake or whatever y'all been doing. Y'all can go back to the business. Because what's finna happen is, if he don't get what I think he want or he deserve, he gonna set this whole industry on fire, people. He gonna set it on fire. And right now, you got the New York situation and you got the situation in Atlanta. Right now, I'm thinking within the next month, it's going to be a situation out in California with the Bloods and Crips out there. Somebody going to come out like, man, forget it. Let's throw it up in flames. I'm calling out everybody that's fake. I'm telling you I'm pitching this in my mind because I can see this coming. And the reason I'm even speaking on it, because like I said, I don't do hip hop news. I don't do this stuff. But this right here, this has the potential to be a dangerous situation for a lot of people and a lot of bystanders. Because you got a lot of fans out here who are giggling and laughing about this. People who ain't even involved in the game, they ain't gang, but they be around it because they like the music. They like the hip-hop scene. They don't realize, man, that the powder keg, this is a powder keg waiting to explode. This stuff might bleed out into the streets. And once it bleeds out into the streets, your mama can catch it. Your son is that just turned 5 years old, that you ain't seen in a couple of months because you laid up with some model in California. Your child might get dumped on. That's how they playing it out here. Pay the man what you owe him, man. You know, that's just from one, you know, like I say, I washed my hands from the streets a long time ago. I don't deal with that no more. And I try to tell any youngster out there, find something else to do. Find something else to do. Because this ain't even worth it. Because the people that's making all the money sending you out. And I'm going to tell y'all a story because I like to tell my stories. I like to tell my stories. And this is gonna mess some of y'all up. Me and some guys was beefing. Me and some folks was beefing. And we out here hating each other, wanting to kill each other. The gang leaders at the time, I'm not gonna say their names. The gang leaders at the time were having dinner with each other. I didn't realize that until I came up in the upper echelons of gang life. I didn't realize how that worked. You see, the gang leaders got to have some kind of communication to keep the violence down. Sometimes they be almost like best friends. I didn't know this. I'm out here hating the opposition. I'm out here trying to smoke the opposition. And the whole time, Chief and them is over there barbecuing and kicking it with they chief. And when I kind of mentioned it, I said, man, you know, it was explained to me. You know, when things go up in flames, we got to have that communication open to tamp the flames down. We got to have that communication open. Because everybody gonna start dying around here. So that's just to let y'all youngsters out there know, man. Y'all foot soldiers out there, that's just to let y'all foot soldiers know, man. Find something else to do. Because at the end of the day, if that money that's being made ain't going in your pocket and you don't see your life improving, then gang ain't worth it. Let them put in their own work. Because anybody can tell you that know me from the streets, I didn't send people out. I went with you. Dig that. See, that's the bar you got to set for a person that you running up under. If he ain't willing to go out with you, he ain't worth following. Think about that. If dude ain't willing to go out with you, he ain't worth following. And then y'all need to move on and find something else to do. Drop your flag, drop your hat, be done with it and move on to something else. Because it ain't prospering. If he ain't willing to go out there and knuckle up with you. His family's safe. They behind a big iron gated house. They eating shrimp every night. They driving Bentleys. They rocking mink coats. They all on the videos flashing pistols. But you the one shooting the pistol. So at the end of the day, man, if it ain't putting money in your pocket and feeding your family, I'm talking about really feeding your family. Not no little ones and twos. If you can't live behind a gated house, you wasting your time. If your leader is living behind a gated house you need to be headed that way too. And if you ain't headed that way on living behind a gated house with you and your family, it's a waste of your time. I'm finna go into the next commercial break, and I'm gonna try to reach out to this truck driver that want to talk to me about how the industry is doing when it come down to the trucking industry. And this is important for all my truckers out there.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Hello? Hey, Mr. Lawrence.
I'm this.
This is Marcus Gentry with the Daily Read.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna get up right today, man, because I gotta load my truck up, man. That's what
Oh,
I'm
okay,
doing.
okay. When will you be available for me to talk to you?
Let me get on the road here, and I'll give you a holler back a little bit. People.
Well, I got about 15, 20 more minutes in the show. I tell you what, how about we set something up for next Sunday around 12 o'clock?
Well, let me see what I got going on first. I don't schedule nothing. I don't know exactly what time but my schedule. They call me off and on, so that's what I'm saying. I have to call you a day ahead. I didn't know what this was going on today.
Okay, I got you.
I got your number, though.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
All right, people, we back with the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. Now, as I said before, on my last two segments, some of y'all young brothers and sisters out there, man, that fall in love with the game. It's a dirty game out here, and there's two sides to this. You know, there's the wealthy side that hides out for all the killing and the murders. You know, they kids never have a hungry day in their life. They kids don't know how it is to make a syrup sandwich. They kids don't know how it is to live with rats and roaches. You know, have people take your shoes off your feet. You know, you can't even go to school because you got some brand new Jordans on. When you come home, you got to take them shoes off, put your ragged shoes on because somebody might take them off your feet. They haven't come up like that. So a lot of these people out here claiming gang, man, you know, be careful with this stuff. Live your life and prosper. Do it the right way. Now I'm finna talk about this old president of ours. Because just here recently, he basically tried to declare himself a king. And it really offended me. It offended me because I'm watching this bigot, and I know he's a bigot. See, a lot of people, especially in the South, they don't know nothing about Donald Trump. They haven't even tried to look him up. But when you went from state to state, moved around all your life, lived in North Carolina, you know, been in Virginia, New York, and you've been to other places, believe me, you've heard of Donald Trump and his bigotry. And him and his father. And my thing about it is, where are all of these people at when Barack Obama was the president and they had all these "Don't tread on me" signs and they running around talking about Barack Obama trying to take the country and do this and that? Where are all these people at? That should have been an outrage when Donald Trump said what he said on the news. I want y'all to listen to this.
When somebody's the president of the United States, the authority is total. And that's the way it's got to be.
Total. The authority is total.
It's total. And the governors know that.
So if
the governors know that. Now you have a couple of bands of excuse me. You have a couple.
Could you rescind that order?
You have a couple of bands of Democrat governors, but they will agree to it. They will agree to it. But the authority of the President of the United States having to do with the subject we're talking about is total.
Now, that was Donald Trump basically trying to declare himself a king. We don't have kings and queens here in America. That's what the whole Revolutionary War was about. We have a president who runs the government, and we have governors who runs their states. The president can't tell a governor to reopen his state. He can't do it. If the governor feels like his state is unsafe for people to go out here and go to work, then that's what it is. Some of y'all need to ask yourself out there, especially some of my truck drivers out there that like Donald Trump, because I know it's a lot of y'all out there. Ask yourself, why is Donald Trump not holding a rally? Since he want to reopen up the government, let him be the first one to do it. Let him be the first one to go out to Montana or Michigan and hold a Trump rally. Let all of his supporters go to a huge coliseum somewhere during the time of a pandemic. Let them go out there with the Trump signs up, so he can, and let him mix and mingle in with the community and shake hands with his people. You see, that's what y'all got to realize. Y'all got to understand, if this man is not holding a rally, what makes you think you want to go back and send your kids to school and send your kids out to play? He loves rallies. He loves them. So if you know Donald Trump is not going out here holding no rally, then you automatically know it's not safe to go out. He's not out there. I'm finna play some more. I want y'all to hear this woman, how she was good when she said this.
You said when someone is president of the United States, their authority is total. That is not true. Who
Okay,
told
you know what we're going to do? We're going to write up papers on this. It's not going to be necessary because the governors need us one way or the other.
And that's typical Trump. He thinking he hold all the cards, and he don't. He seriously think he can do whatever he want to, people. And that's simply not the case. That's not the case. I hope everybody that's listening to what I'm saying, I'm hoping and praying that everybody that's listening to my voice right now sign up to vote. Because what they're going to wind up doing, they're going to wind up having ballots mailed out to people. And if you're not registered to vote, you're not going to get a ballot in the mail. So I hope all of you go out there and register to vote. Because this is getting serious. He's not holding no rallies. He's not putting his life and his family. Matter of fact, you haven't even seen his kids lately. They usually be out somewhere talking crazy. They hiding out right now. They're not trying to catch the coronavirus, but they want to send you out there in the streets. I want y'all to hear some more of this so y'all get an understanding the cruelty of these people.
Because ultimately, it comes with the federal government. That being said, we're getting along very well with the governors, and I feel very certain that there won't be a problem. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Has any governor agreed that you have the authority to decide when their state
I haven't asked
back up?
anybody. Because I don't. You know why? Because I don't have to. Go ahead, please.
But who told you the president has the total authority?
Enough.
And I have to tell you, that is the biggest meltdown I have ever seen from a president of the United States in my career. I don't think a reasonable person could watch what we just saw over the last hour and conclude that the president is in control.
This is crazy, people. He's listening to multimillionaires trying to get him to reopen up the whole economy and send you back to work while they hide out in their mansions. They family, they safe from the coronavirus. They don't have to get put on a breathing machine. They kids go to private schools or get trained at home on a satellite computer somewhere. You know, they got private tutors that come in and teach their kids. You can't afford no private tutor. This is serious business, people. I tried to get in contact with the truck driver during the break, and right now he's on the load. So I'm gonna try to get back in contact with him next Sunday, because I'm gonna do a whole markup. I'm gonna do a whole makeup of the trucking industry and how the coronavirus is affecting our industry, because we are the bloodline of America, people. Whatever you got in your house, whatever, the beds you got, the dressers you got, the cooking utensils you got, a truck driver brought it to your community. We are the bloodline of America. And when the bloodline shut down, the body dies. Y'all got to understand that. So I'm going to end this show today, and I want to thank all of you for joining in. This is The Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Business.